Marx, in other words, is attempting to square the circle. He is attempting to unify a metaphysical intellectual tradition with an essentially physical intellectual tradition, with a transcendental and a mundane intellectual tradition. And the problem is, I think, ultimately, that the tensions pull the system apart. It helps explain why there are so many diverse interpretations of Marxism. One of the reasons is that the ambiguity of Marxist thought allows both people whose basic orientation is naturalistic and people whose basic orientation is transcendental or metaphysical to both read Marx and think that they're understanding it as Marx really meant it. The real reason is because there are tensions, simple contradictions in Marxist thought which never get resolved, and the reason is that I think ultimately they can't be resolved. Ultimately, you're going to have to choose either or. You're going to be a naturalist or you're going to be a metaphysician. It is very hard to be both. If you want the naturalism, you can keep the laws of history, the Marxian iron laws of progress that Professor Staloff talked about in the last lecture. That's the naturalistic element in Marx. If you want to believe that history has a progressive tendency, if you want to believe that history is the gradual realization of human liberation, if you want to believe that there is an endpoint to the process of human development, you can't do that without metaphysics. It's implicitly Hegelian, and you can't jibe that idea unless you essentially believe that there is a plan either intrinsic to nature or in the mind of God or intrinsic to human nature or intrinsic somewhere that can be discerned that has some very queer ontological differences from a natural entity.